Good morning. It's coffee time for me. I'm in the midst of Storm Dara, which is the one that's potentially going to cancel the Merseyside derby today and other football games. And I barely slept because at 2 a.m. it started, and like the balcony on my flat it's got like a glass fence to stop you falling off it, and it's got like small holes between like a top rail and the glass. And when wind like really quickly flies through that, it just whistles. So I basically just had someone screaming outside of my room for since 2 a.m. basically. So I've not slept very well. But we got a coffee, and I thought I'd do this in front of you guys as well. We've got day number, what are we on? We're on the 7th of December. We've got day number 7 of the old advent calendar. Got to find it a second. I hope everyone's doing well. It's an advent calendar pack opening right here. Got a little star. Would you look at that? That went down well. All right, we got loads of members in. Uwe, good to see you, mate. Dreamers Canvas, Paul, Freddie, Glenn, Antonio, Galactic Cantina, EOM, Ben. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. I'm quietly hoping. Obviously, first of all, I don't want anyone to be hurt or injured by the storm because it does sound pretty biblical. Certainly where I live, it's pretty bad right now. But number two, I do kind of hope that the Liverpool-Everton game is off, because I'm stuck with Erling Haaland in my team, and he's my vice-captain. So if the game is postponed, things are looking quite good for me, I would say that. I'm not sure many people around my rank have Erling Haaland anymore, and I would suggest he's probably the best captain, right, if Salah's game is postponed. So I'm quietly hoping the game does get postponed for my selfish FPL reasons. Good to see Daniel, Dakshin and Ahmed. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. We're quite early this morning. I'll probably go for 2 or 3 hours. I think we're going to get some news. Well, it was reported that we're going to get an announcement at 8 a.m. as to whether the game is postponed or not. And we'll go from there. And there's a lot of talk, obviously, about the Liverpool-Everton game. I'm just going to check Twitter a second, because I can't imagine it's just that game. Surely not. Surely not. So I'm just going to have a look at Storm Dara a second, because that's what we're in the midst of. Well, I'm in the midst of. I've got it worse. So here's the Met Office warning. Let's just see what other games could potentially be at risk as well. Okay. Here we go. BBC. That's probably the best image then, isn't it? Can we zoom in on that one? Right, so I live here, so I'm in the midst of it. There aren't really... It's just Liverpool, isn't it? And maybe Manchester as well. Are there any games going on in Manchester this weekend? Let's go back. Any games going on in Manchester? Haven't seen any news yet. I'm just making a... So yeah, be interesting to see if that goes on, because right now, where I live, I wouldn't be playing football in those conditions for sure. Yeah, United Forest could be an interesting one. But other than that, I think all the games should be fine. Tomorrow it'll have all cleared up anyway. None of the games are going on in the West really. A lot of them are in London. Ipswich is obviously on the East Coast. Fulham's in London. Leicester's like Midlands, and then yeah. So it's just potentially the Merseyside derby and the Man United game. Yeah, I guess it all depends on how many Liverpool players you have. I would say I completely agree, Paul. I think if you have, triple Liverpool and maybe an Everton player, could well be a good shout this week to free hit. I do like the Watkins captaincy, but I don't know, just with the crazy benchings we've seen, do you think there's a potential chance that Watkins could be benched for Duran? I just have that playing in the back of my head. 15 meters per second. Yeah, that's pretty quick. I don't do meters per second, I do miles an hour, but I'm pretty sure that's fast. Yeah, we should find out at about 8 a.m. So I'll keep an eye on Twitter and see what news we got. Yeah, obviously, I'm quietly hoping that the game is off myself because I've got Haaland and I would love the opportunity to captain Erling Haaland this week because I don't think many people are going to own him, to be completely honest. I think it's a real shout. Good to see you in the chat, Laura. Hope you're doing well. Just catch up on the messages. Haaland hasn't blanked at Crystal Palace before. That'd be nice. Just don't know about Joe Gomez, to be honest with you, mate. I'll tell you what we can do. Should we have a look at predicted lineups? Let's have a look at some predicted lineups. So there's an account on X. Nice lady called Emma. She's called Jump the Wave on X. And she has a group of fans that predict the starting lineup for each team. So I think, how many are there? Maybe 15 fans from each club that predict the lineups. I'm going to turn my mic up. I have to be a bit quiet on this stream because my flatmate is still asleep. I don't want to wake them up. So we're looking at Spurs. So Romero's potentially starting. And then we got Maddison and Brennan 55% to start. So I think just interesting. I was potentially considering bringing Brennan Johnson in. But I don't think I can do that with 55% chance to start. Newcastle predicted lineup. I don't think there's any surprises there. Yeah, Isak 100%. I think I'm going to bring Isak in this week. No real surprises there. Man United. Dallo, Martinez, De Ligt, Mazwari, Bruno, Mainu, Casemiro, Ahmed, Rashford and Xerxes. Man City, Ortega, Guardiola, Ruben Diaz, Walker. Lewis is 64%. De Bruyne 91, Gundogan, Bernardo, Doku, Grealish. Grealish is likely to start in Haaland. Do we think Grealish starting could be good for Haaland? I just want Doku as far away from possible. As far away as possible from that team, to be honest. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. Liverpool lineup. Kelleher looks likely to start. Interesting. 100% of those Liverpool fans have predicted Kelleher to play. Trent, Robertson, Virgil, Gomez. Quantz 14%. So it looks like Gomez is going to be starting. Luis Diaz, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, Gravenberch, and Gakpo and Salah. Interesting. Chelsea, Sanchez. God, I hope he plays. Cucurella, Badiashile, Colwill, Palmer, Neto, Caicedo, Lavia, and Jackson. Brighton, Verbruggen, Estupinian, Dunk, Lamptey. Interesting. Van Heck, Mitoma, Ruta, Baleba, Ayari, and João Pedro. So João Pedro is 100% according to these odds. I don't mind Jackson captain, you know. For me, I always want to put the armband on a player that takes penalties. That would be like that's one of the things I'm pretty keen on with a captain, is always picking one that takes penalties. Is the Liverpool game going to get cancelled? We don't know. We'll find out in 20 minutes, I'm hoping. Oh, Jess, -8 to get Palmer out. To get Palmer in. Got to be done on it. Got to be done. Who else could you bring in, though? Do you have anyone else you could captain? I mean, personally, I'd avoid the hit and see if you can captain someone else. I'm hoping our man Erling Haaland does bits. So that's Villa. By the way, Rodgers and João Pedro are both 100% to start, according to these fans. Interesting. Arsenal, Raya, you got Gabriel on 65%. Saliba, Timber, Kivior. I'm not liking that one Arsenal fan that's predicted Timber not to play, by the way. Saka, Odegaard. We don't know who's going to play between Martinelli and Trossard. Declan Rice, Partey, and Havertz, by the looks of it. And that's it. Good morning, Sally. Start 2, João Pedro, Cunha, and Rodgers. I would probably start João Pedro and Rodgers myself. Fulham, yeah, they're playing pretty well. They are basically the Arsenal B team, though, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on in that one. Who to start in Boomer? So Wasilin, Penkau. I was just checking that wasn't a troll name. No, it wasn't. My transfer plans this week, I'm considering doing Mbumo to Semenyo and then Chris Wood to Isak. I think that's a pretty solid plan. But I know he's been crap, but I just don't want to get rid of Mbumo or Chris Wood. They've been legends for me. But I think it's time to say goodbye. Bench 1, Isak, Cunha, Semenyo, Rodgers, Wissa. Cunha. I'm pretty pleased with how my prediction of Cunha paid off, you know. I got a bit of stick on YouTube for saying that I think he was a bit overrated. And I know he's still the 3rd top scoring forward in the game. But I just never felt that his returns would be sustainable. A lot of the goals he scored were, I say half the goals he's got this season were from like absolute crackers from outside the box. And I just didn't think it was sustainable. And against Bournemouth and Everton, he's put up, 0.28 XG in those 2 games. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased with that shout. God, bench Rodgers or Semenyo. Who's got the best fixture? I think I would bench Semenyo purely because Rodgers is at home. Who is the best alternative for Smith Rowe? I would say Semenyo or Rodgers. To be honest, I'm going to have both of them in my team. I wouldn't be able to pick long term who is the best. To be completely honest with you. Go back to that screen. And 8 Nori, yeah, you could get rid of him, but unless you have like extra cash in the bank, there's just no one I'd rather have. I think Forest defenders are great, but are they going to keep a clean sheet away at Man United? I mean, Forest defenders would personally be my favourites at that price point. In fact, do you think I should start Aina over Colwill? I think I probably should, shouldn't I? How can you create a YouTube video settings? Yeah, so I've found it works in 2 ways. Number 1 is where you have YouTube Premium, because then you can play a YouTube video like that. And there's another feature where sometimes there's a bug in YouTube where it allows you to do that. So yeah, that's the 2 scenarios I found where that works. It's a bug that you've been experiencing rather than someone's feature, I think. I'll do team reviews at some point. I haven't worked out when yet. Use Revanced. There you go. I don't know what that is. Someone probably knows more about it than I do. Is that something I can do, Hypnotoad? Let me know. By the way, while we wait for the news about the Liverpool Everton game, I've got some news if that's all right. If I may, I'm going to plug something if that's all right. I mentioned this on my previous stream, but I had look at that cringy photo. I had an idea a few months ago to start a little thing where I teach people how to build their own YouTube channel. And with the help of a couple of people in the chat, actually, thank you, Ben and Jess. You both helped me with this video. I appreciate that. I made my first video for the YouTube channel on that one. I paid someone to do the thumbnail, had to pose for the picture. I'll put a link in the chat. If anyone wants to check it out, there it is. Small plug. Right. Oh, mate. You're checking out 8 Nori for a -4. That's just shocking, mate. I wouldn't do it. Pin it, I reckon. All right. Oh, we'll leave it. I'll do it again in a second. Why is the Liverpool game getting cancelled? Mate, there's 70-mile-an-hour winds in the UK at the moment. Yeah, give that link a click for good luck. I appreciate that. Don't know if the game's going to be called off. We should find out in about 15 minutes. Should I wildcard next game week or game week 18 because my team has no Liverpool or Arsenal defenders? I don't know why wildcarding is essential to getting Liverpool and Arsenal defenders in, because you have transfers. I guess if you still have your wildcard left to use, you're running out of time to do it. Yeah, so I was at swim training last night. I don't know if anyone in other countries gets this, but in the UK, I don't know if you can see that on my phone, that big warning there. We got a government severe alert on our phones that played a tone at like full speaker volume on your phone. And I was at training last night. There were like, I'd say 20 people there. Obviously, all of our phones were in the changing room, and the warning went off, and 20 phones in the changing rooms went off with like this nuclear alert, which was quite interesting. Salah has scored 20 goals in 22 games with winds above 40 kilometers an hour. That's pretty impressive. I like that stat. I'm not going to, for the purposes of YouTube, I will not provide my my opinion, my personal opinion. But if you want to DM me on Twitter or something, we can talk about it. I was going to say, what other scenario would that kind of thing be useful in? I was going to say if like Putin fires some nukes at us, but I'll probably be dead by the time we do. Well, I will be. I live in a city. I'm done for. Congrats on it. Oh, thank you, Gwiz. The video's pinned if you want to check it out. I play Kirkez over 8 Nori, mate. I've had enough of 8 Nori, but I think I've got to play him. What goalkeepers do you like the most? I need a replacement for Pickford. Do you know what, mate? I'm going to sound... Honestly, I think end of the season, the 2 top scoring goalkeepers in the game will be Jordan Pickford and Onana of Man United. And I look at Jordan Pickford's fixtures, right, and they are disgusting. But I feel like he could get a crazy amount of saves in those games, and he could pull something out like a penalty save. You know, it wouldn't be outrageous for him to make, you know, almost double-digit saves in each of those games, get good bonus points, and get maybe a penalty save. The only scenario where I probably would take him out is if the game is off today. And then I'd say Onana is the best replacement. Hopefully that helps you, mate. Yeah, I would do Havertz to Isak, I think. But it just depends if you have other fires in your team to put out, really. I think that's the thing with goalkeepers in FPL, isn't it? And I kind of made that mistake last week. I did I did Fleck into Sanchez, and Sanchez got benched, which is just crazy. But I think a standard like rule of thumb to follow with keepers is you just pick one and stick with them, because sometimes a goalkeeper will just pull out a huge score in a game where you don't expect it. Like, for example, they play Liverpool or Man City. They make 10 saves in the game, get loads of bonus points for the saves, and they pull out a penalty save or something like that. So, yeah, I think my role, my sort of thoughts with a keeper is just to set and forget most of the time. The reason I brought in Sanchez is because of his fixture run. His fixture run until like game week 22, or even beyond that, up until like the end of January. And I figured by that point I might be considering a wild card. So that's why I went for him. But yeah, sometimes with goalkeepers, I think you just got to set and forget. Worth getting in Trent and Gabriel from -4 for Fass and Porro. Still have leftover funds from selling Haaland. I'd wait till the news on the game, mate. Aman Omar, Big Four or Fabinski? I think Big Four would be Pickford, I'm guessing. I'm assuming English isn't your first language, so I'm not going to take the mickey, mate. Your English is still better than most of my foreign languages. I'd probably start Fabianski this week. What fix? Who's he got? Yeah, Fabianski. Oh, track map, mate. I've said it about 4 times. We're going to know in 8 minutes with a bit of luck. In fact, I'm gonna put Twitter on now on my other tab. Good to see you, Liam, mate. Are you travelling down to Portsmouth today? That's going to be quite a sketchy drive. Bear with. Let's see if you got any news. I also think with De Bruyne starting for Man City, that's going to be a good thing. Last chance for Mbumo. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be selling Mbumo this week. Cunha and Gomez or João Pedro and Timber? Yeah, I prefer Pedro and Timber, mate. Definitely. I think Timber's minutes are relatively nailed on with Ben White being injured, to be honest. Q are benching this week. Naki Wells is still knocking about, mate. He's probably one of our best players right now. For some reason, it hit November and then he just became a decent footballer again. I don't know what happened. I was giving him a bit of stick on Twitter because he was just being an idiot, basically. He wasn't trying all that hard and he was just giving away stupid fouls. You know, like when a defender is like jockeying. Oh, I had a bit of lag then. Oh. Whoa, my laptop's struggling. Hopefully we're all right. You know, like when a defender is jockeying the ball out for like a goal kick and he holds the striker off. Naki Wells would put himself in that position almost every game. He'd just take the defender out and get a yellow card. I think he did that 4 or 5 games in a row when he got subbed on. How are you getting there, Liam? You go and train or coach? I guess you get the coach, don't you? Reasons for not removing 8 Nori. I thought he'd be a straight sell. Well, God, my laptop's struggling. What's going on? Sorry, guys, bear with. I need that new YouTube channel to kick off so I can buy a new PC. There we go. Yeah, I just don't see any valid alternatives to 8 Nori, really. I think there's much of a muchness between all of those 4.5 defenders. And a lot of the good ones this week have a tough fixture. Like my favourite cheap cheap defenders. Sorry, I hit my mic then. My favourite cheap defenders are Forest defenders. Like Aina is a legend, Milenkovic a legend, but they've just got tough fixtures. So for me, mate, I just keep Aït-Nouri. I don't think there's any reason to sell him. Kirkez is great, but I just wouldn't spend the transfer. Yeah, but then Gomez has got, I'd say his minutes are at risk. Like there's definitely a game over this Christmas period where he gets benched. So as enticing as that is to make that transfer, I'm just not sure it's worth it. And his game could be called off. You know, we might see an announcement in 4 minutes' time to say if the game is off or not. So I just don't think it's worth it. Yeah, Lewis Hall's pretty good. But again, if you're selling someone like Aït-Nouri, Colwill for him, I just don't see the point. There's nothing in it. I would probably bench Mbeumo, mate. Mitoma or Semenyo? I think Leicester away is going to be a tough game for Brighton. So I would play Semenyo, I think. Bench one, Eze, Kulu or Rodgers? Oh, that's tough. I'd probably bench I don't want to say it, but I'd probably bench Kulusevski because I'm not sure he starts. I think we had a look at Spurs lineup predictions, didn't we? And I'm pretty sure Kulusevski was like a 50-50 as to whether he was going to play. Let me just check. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, my laptop is not liking this at the moment. Oh no, Kulusevski was 100%. Okay, I would bench, I got that wrong. I would bench Eze. Rude and Vardy, that's a combination made in heaven, isn't it? Come on then, we should be getting some news. The 8 AM promise of... Ooh. Interesting. Well, I don't know what kind of inside source this account is, but FPL Price Changes has tweeted, no chance of the game going ahead at Anfield. Oh, right, okay, because it's not Anfield. Troll. I nearly got trolled then. I put in someone's stream chat yesterday that Van Dijk had a better chance of starting than Trent did if the game's off. And I think for a second they believed it, which is quite funny. I shouldn't share my For You feed on Okay, so FPL Focal saying, officials are now meeting to decide whether Everton v Liverpool will need to be postponed. We should know within the next hour. So if anyone sees any news, put it in the chat, but I think we'll know. Bro, everyone's asking me, is the match postponed? I've literally given you the most up-to-date news I possibly could. That's the most up-to-date news. What would I do? I'm going to captain Haaland, mate. Oh, so both 7 bridges are closed. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, if the Liverpool game's off, I'm probably just doing. I'm just going to captain Haaland. I've only got one Liverpool Everton player, so I don't care. I mean, it's probably for my benefit. I can't possibly sell Salah, so yeah, I'd be quite happy if the game gets postponed. To be honest, start Rodgers or Mbeumo. I'd start Rodgers, mate. I think Southampton at home's a better fixture. Good morning, Alex. Hope Candy takes his day off. I've been saying it in my videos, but I do think there is a bit of truth to that Gandhi meme. Liam would know, who's in my chat as a Bristol City fan. Whenever my one experience of going to live games really is Bristol City, but whenever we kick off at before 3 p.m, the atmosphere is just completely different. And the energy around the game, the players, everything is just subdued. And regardless of the opposition we play as well, even when we've had a local derby against Cardiff, it's felt like a subdued game. But I'm guessing last Merseyside derby at in Liverpool, it's probably going to be a different atmosphere, isn't it? Any updates? They're having a meeting right now. Apparently, officials are meeting right now to discuss if the game should be called off. I have, mate, Daniel. I love it. I think it needed someone to stand up to Max Verstappen at times. Yeah, I just hope it's not got under George's skin and he's not like, Max isn't just in his head. Because I think Max needed someone to stand up to him a little bit. Just good to have a bit of needle between drivers. I mean, it's a death-defying sport. And I think it's a bit too friendly, to be honest. For the level of risk that the drivers put themselves under, for them to be all friends after it finishes, I just don't think is right, personally. Yes, Alex, yes. Exactly that, bad weather. Here where I live in Bristol, there are 80-mile-an-hour winds, apparently. And I think the same is happening in Liverpool. So here is a map of the UK. Liverpool, I think, is back here, is it not? Might be wrong. Somewhere around here. And these are 70 to 80-mile-an-hour winds all day today, basically. And that's where they all are. What is the Gandhi connection? Does someone want to explain the Gandhi story? There's a meme, basically an FPL meme, where it's Mahatma Gandhi saying to never back the early kickoff. I'll show you the meme. If anyone's not seen the meme. I must say, I'm impressed that you're watching an FPL deadline stream and you don't know the meme. But I'll let you off. I'm just loading up the meme. Here's the meme. There you go. Never back the early kickoff. I don't know where it came from, but that's the meme. Sorry, Gunners Girl. The chat's moving a bit quick today if I missed any of your messages. Oh, no, that was incomprehensible, I'm afraid. It's Mbumo's last week in your team, but you're rolling. Yeah, I agree on Mbumo. Bench Mbumo or Wood? I think you've got to bench Wood. As painful as that sounds, I think you've got to pick the player that's at home. And I also think Brentford's scoring record at home is really quite good. But yeah, Mbumo's numbers have not been great, have they? But yeah, my gut says bench Wood. We had a look at some lineup predictions, Ebba, and Gabriel, according to Arsenal fans, was 65% to start. I would play Ait-Nouri over Lewis. I'm not sure Lewis starts. Yeah, I actually don't know EOM3. I actually don't know how it'll work. Whether they'll still have the same deadline, but there just won't be a game, or whether it will, whether it'll be postponed. I don't know. There was a tree down across the road, yeah. Windy times, man. Start for Bruggen or Flecken. Neither are getting a clean sheet. I'd start for Bruggen. I think he's got the better fixture. Which two would you start out of Porro, Dunk, and Konsa? I would start. I'd want to put Porro in there. I really would. I'd say Porro and Konsa. Just. Will you stick Mohamed Salah or will you suppress the flame? That's an interesting message. We'll see if his game is on, mate. I'm not going to sell him, but I will definitely captain Haaland if the Merseyside derby is off. For Bruggen or Fabianski. I just think Rude's Leicester are going to have a good game against Brighton. So I would go Fabianski. It's this El Sakiko this week, isn't it, between Lopetegui and Gary O'Neill. Bristol City drew Wolves in the Cup, by the way. That's quite exciting. Start Onana or Kepa? Oh, what's going on? My laptop is being a right pain today. I would start Onana, mate. I think Onana's a good shout this week. I'm just going to try and quit some applications and see if that does anything. I'm going to quit PowerPoint. I'm going to quit editing software, podcast preview, Spotify, Zoom. They're all going. Force quit. That should hopefully speed up my laptop a little bit. Let's see. I still think Salah's the best captain, mate. Personally, if he plays. But I'm very happy to have Haaland. That's for sure. Saka versus Robinson. What? That's not a tough one, mate. I'd be fine. Oh, I get it, like the 1v1 matchup. I do think Robinson is genuinely one of the best left backs in the league, by the way. But yeah, I wouldn't worry. Nothing, mate. Do not know about the mystery chip. Do that at your peril, I'd say, gee whiz. Sorry, I missed your message. Start Garnacho or Mbumo. I'm leaning towards Mbumo. Yeah. I also don't know about Garnacho's minutes. Like I cannot tell you with any kind of surety that Garnacho's going to play. I think I'd have to go Palmer over Jackson, mate. You got to pick the penalty takers, in my opinion. You got to pick the penalty takers. Let's just see if we've got any news about the game. So Aintree races. So the race, probably the biggest, most famous horse racing circuit in the UK. Do you call it a circuit? I don't know. But they've cancelled their events today, and that's in Liverpool, not near Liverpool. So there's that. That's happened. Sorry, I'm just checking the Twitter feed a second. I can't see the chat. Let's have a look. Yeah, exactly what Jess said. Your vice captain will become captain. Check Liverpool FC on Twitter. All right, mate. Sorry that you can't see my Twitter feed. I'm just a little bit worried about sharing my what do you call it? Twitter home feed or homepage on YouTube, because just God knows what's going to be on there. So they did tweet this morning about the game. Interesting. All right, it's a troll. It's not Astrid, I'm afraid, Ben. Klopp will blame the wind. How does the auto subsystem work? So the auto subsystem works in an order. So you've got your bench order here, but the way it works is it has to be a sub in at a valid formation. So for example, in this game, if one of my defenders is auto subbed, so doesn't play and is benched, or whatever, and someone from my bench needs to come through, I might have Dibbling first on my bench. But if Dibbling came in, it would be a 2-5-3, which isn't a valid formation in FPL. So therefore, Greaves would be my first substitute, and he would come in. I need to sort out my subs order. I'm still thinking, would you guys play Aina over Colwill this week? Colwill's got Tottenham away, Aina's got Man United away, and then Greaves is a good option as well. Who would you guys start for me this week? Would you leave it as it is? Oh, right, I see G-Wiz. When is the last week to use the wild card? Game week 18 or 19, I believe. It'll say it in the rules. Yeah, Greaves, Aina. Just don't know. I just don't know who to play. As a United fan, yeah. I think as a emotional, actually, I haven't showed this yet, have I? We'll do score predictions in a second. So I've got projected goals and clean sheet odds here. So we need to look at those, don't we, to determine who to start. So yeah, Colwill, Greaves and Aina. Who's got the best clean sheet odds? So Aina's got 15. Greaves has got 18. And Chelsea got 17. My gut says it's got to be Aina. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go for Aina. That means the thing is with Chelsea, it means I'm doubled up. I'd rather not be doubled up, to be honest. What's that question for, Wins? Is that to start or to buy? Because this week I would start Hall, but I wouldn't. Not sure I'd buy him. Time to go take your hits. Take care, Jess. Appreciate you joining. I'd advise against hits, by the way, for what it's worth. They never pay off for me. But I wish you the best. So yeah, we've got the goals and clean sheet odds here. We also have player projected goals. So I'll leave that on screen for people to have a look at. Watkins is the most likely goal scorer this week, which is interesting. Haaland in second, Salah in third, Palmer in fourth. Watkins, the most likely goal scorer. I think the fact he took a penalty last week is huge for that. I'm going to leave that on screen while I just check Twitter again to see if we've got any postponement news. Interestingly, people saying now, don't know how reputable the sources are, but a friend of mine who people might recognise on Twitter, named Benny Blanco, who lives in Liverpool, he is saying the game is off. Interesting. Spinney and Klopp, a Liverpool insider source, confirming that there's a meeting going on at the moment about the game. Funny people going for Trent. He's going to blank. Everton will score 2. Mate, the game's probably not even going to go on. I think the game's off at this point. Yes, Alf. Good to see you, my friend. What were we saying about the Liverpool game, mate? off, on. Yes, Alexandra, it does look that way. When you look at a map of the storm in the UK, the only cities that it affects appears to be Liverpool and Manchester. And I have a feeling that Liverpool are going to get it worse than Manchester is because it's more coastal. So I think Liverpool is really the only one where game is at threat. So yeah, not confirmed yet, Alf. There's an official meeting ongoing as we speak. I think the police are probably talking about it right now by the sounds of it. So we'll see. FPL Rockstar. There you go. I think that is confirmation that the Merseyside derby needs a rest. So I think that tweet says it all, ladies and gentlemen. I think that means it's gonna be off. I'm not sure I would do that, Paul. I guess it depends who else you have in your team. I'm so excited. I'm so excited now. Finally, my decision to keep hold of Haaland. Finally. My justice. And I think Dibbling, I don't think I actually need to make a transfer for him. I'm quite happy to start him against Villa. God, I'm so happy to have Haaland. Oh, it feels like justice for my patience in Haaland to have the opportunity to captain him. That's like absolute justice for my misfortune. Yeah, so lots of train disruption around Liverpool. I think the game's going to be off, guys. It's looking like the game is going to be off. Yeah, they called off Aintree. I agree. I think it's off at this point. Not officially announced yet, but a lot of insider accounts are saying that it's not looking good or off. I'm warming up personally. My opinion is that it's going to be off now. We're going to do a tweet if that's all right. I'm just going to tweet the stream a second, guys. I haven't done that yet. Forgive me. Just tweet the stream. Oh, loads of messages came in then. I was watching the Liverpool forecast last night. What FPL does to you. Should we have the power? I don't think so. Going to get... Why would you do that? I wouldn't sell Trent and Salah. For just this week, I would... Yeah, I'll be careful. Just don't... It's only 1 week. I wouldn't bring in any Liverpool players at this point. Some people looking to free hit. Yeah, not a bad shout. It just depends how many players you have in the game, though. Like if you've literally just got 2 Liverpool players, I wouldn't do it. It's just not worth it. I'm just going to tweet the stream a second, guys. Bear with while I just find the picture. There she is. Hashtag FPL. Right, the stream is tweeted. 4 missing. Yeah, it just depends on your bench, mate, really. I think it might well do, Joel, to be honest. I've gone early. Good for you, Hypnotoad. You always say that in my chat. Fantastic. Good for you, man. So 2 Liverpool players out. Gabriel needs to play. How much did you get last week? That's my current overall. So the game hasn't officially been announced as being cancelled. But all of the insider accounts that some of the insider accounts that I personally trust say that the game is off. So yeah. I've got Haaland as my captain. Come on. Liam Deal. Was there a Liam Manning contract, is there? I must have missed that. Liam Deal. What's that? What are you saying, Liam? It looks like the Liverpool match is off. Not 100% announced yet. Not officially announced. The Merseyside derby is officially off. Has that happened now? It's going to be the first tweet that appears on my For You feed. I've not seen it officially announced yet. I mean, I'm guessing the most reputable source to find that is the Liverpool Twitter page, isn't it? But they haven't tweeted it yet. Please answer me. Who to start out of Gabriel, Greaves, Aït-Nouri, Hall and Robinson? Have a look at this, mate. Make the decision based on that. What happens with the points? Well, you don't get any points for your Liverpool and Everton players, I'm afraid. Just how it works. They'll all score 0. Oh, it was Liam Delap's sale. Before he plays Bournemouth? No, I don't think so. Not doing team reviews yet, mate. There's bigger fish to fry in terms of finding out if the game is off at the moment. I haven't seen anything yet. No official news. Focal is reporting. There you go. Focal has tweeted. There we go. I would trust him. He is reporting that the game is off. Sorry, guys. Bear with. My bench isn't strong for goals. Yeah, crazy conditions. So the game is off. I would trust that news. How many more games up north? Well, we looked at that, Dan, and I guess that affects things for the championship. I suppose. But there's only one other game in the UK in the Prem, and that's Man United Forest. And I think with Manchester being a little bit further away from the coast, that will probably still be on. But I'm going to change my thumbnail if that's all right. Because important things need to be done here. We're going to redesign the thumbnail quickly on stream because we need to have Salah not playing, don't we? Glad I waited to bring Trent in this morning. Me too. Yeah, I think it's official at this point, mate. We're just waiting for the announcement, but I'm pretty sure the game is off. I'm pretty sure the game is off. Let's just put that on screen. Hopefully you can see my team there. I've got Haaland captain, ladies and gentlemen. How good is that? Haaland is my captain. No, I'm just going to leave it. My laptop doesn't want to play ball. We're going to leave that. We go back to OBS. Could we get early City news pre-deadline? Hopefully. Hopefully. Manchester should be fine. Let's just double check that that's official now. I think this Twitter channel, yeah, there you go. Announcement imminent on the Merseyside derby. Merseyside derby has been postponed. Come on. Come on. I need that luck, man. I need that luck. Haaland captain. Come on. Come on, Haaland. Sorry, guys. I know some of you this is quite painful for, but I've stared at Erling Haaland in my team for the last month, and he's not done anything. And I finally have an opportunity for him to score some points in my team as my captain. So for me, this is good. Watch Haaland blank and City draw 1-1 to Palace. Oh, we clawed that. That's rude. We're not having that. We're not having that. Look at I've been in the trenches with him. I paid 15 million for a player that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blanks. I'm in the trenches. I'm digging my way out of the trenches. I think it's an interesting concept on that one, actually, because yeah, it is an important question. I think the deadline will change to the first kickoff, but we'll have to see what Fantasy Premier League say on Twitter. I would wait to see what they say. It's an interesting one with how luck works, though, isn't it? Because don't apologise. It's all banter. Don't worry. I can take it. It's absolutely fine. It's funny how luck works, though. I think because while Salah has been amazing, I think in some of the games owners have been lucky to get quite the level of returns that he has got. Particularly if they sold Haaland, and I think Haaland owners have been unlucky that he's not gotten a certain level of returns because in a lot of the games he's put up really big numbers and not done anything. It's funny how luck works, isn't it? You know, how it really is ups and downs of luck. So this, as me as a Haaland owner, my fortune has been pretty ropey the last 4 or 5 weeks. And then this is just a flip. I've gotten lucky with this Merseyside derby scenario playing out as it has. It's just a funny old game, this, isn't it? Everton v Liverpool off. There we go. All those non-triple captain players jumping with joy with an additional double game week. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That means Salah's going to have a double game week at some point. Definitely confirmed. Salah double game week confirmed. So yeah, I guess the question is, well, I guess if the game's off, I've got to do that, haven't I? Dibbling captain. We don't want to be doing that. Game Boy Jack. It certainly looks like the game has indeed been postponed, mate. Not cancelled, just postponed. So what that means is there will be a Liverpool double game week at some point. No idea when. Ben Crellin might already know. I'm going to look at Ben Crellin on Twitter right now. He'll know. He'll already know the game week it will be on. Let's see what he has to say. Ben Crellin, get to work, mate. No, he's not tweeted yet. You calling me a slacker? I'm not slacking. I'm just checking Twitter to see if there's any news. I don't want to share my my Twitter feed on YouTube. Whereas the source is cancelled. Well, pretty much everyone's tweeting it, mate. Yeah, huge news, Alf. I am not going to captain. Oh, not me, Ben Crellin. Okay. I am not going to be captaining Mbumo, Alf. I'm actually thinking I'm going to sell him. I think I'm going to do Mbumo to Semenyo and Wood to Isak this week. How do you know they're not trolling? Because they're the main accounts, mate. This Twitter list that I've got is all reputable leaked accounts. Do you really think Focal, Sam C? I mean, I don't know if you know these guys. They're all very trustworthy sources. Spinion Klopp, Sam C, Heisenberg. All of these guys are trustworthy sources, mate. I would say so. I wouldn't buy Kevin De Bruyne. No. Too injury prone, mate. Wouldn't get him. Not worth it. I'm going to tweet. I'm just going to do a tweet of Haaland captain a second. Remember the Burnley pie incident. What is the Burnley pie incident? You're not buying it. All right, mate. Fair enough. I'm buying it, mate. I'm captaining Haaland. So you're saying if you see a tweet from the official Liverpool FC account that the game is cancelled, that you won't believe it. And if you, mate, it's fine. Let me captain Haaland then. Well, that's come across as not very good quality. Hang on, I need to zoom in to do a good tweet. Bear with, guys. I'm just tweeting out that I've got Haaland as my captain to rub it in. Feels good, man. Got 212 people in here. I haven't asked this already, but if you're enjoying the stream, please leave me a like rating. We're just waiting for official confirmation that the game is off. And then I guess we'll have to wait and see what FPL do with the deadline as well. Dan, we're away at Portsmouth. Quite a few people have started travelling already. So if that game's off, I think they'll have a lot of frustrated fans. Yeah, so it looks like the FPL deadline will move to 1:30 p.m. based on precedent set in the past. So yeah, it looks like the deadline will be moved. I'm still going to stay live though. I'll be here till 10 in the trenches with you guys. Mikolenko to Dean. Oh, I wouldn't trust Luka Dean, mate. I wouldn't trust him. Yep, Sam Bissaka's off. Yep, game's off. Game is off. So someone is saying, to be fair, it's a fair point. Do you think that the game could be postponed till later in the week? As in they just play it like Sunday or Monday? So the game is still in the FPL game week, but later on. I think that's a genuine thing to do, isn't it? I guess TV broadcasters would have something to say about that. Hey, crazy. Liverpool have UCL. Well, there you go then. Sky Sports News have just confirmed postponed. Well, there you go. Is that official, is it? Let's just find it. Sky Sports News have tweeted. No, they haven't. Oh, is it on the TV channel? I'm not watching the telly. Gameweek 33, most likely. There you go then. Who would you rather for this week? Whistle or João Pedro? João Pedro. Maybe. It's breaking news on the telly, is it? It's all posted. It's happened. It's official. The game is off. Come on. Haaland captain. I'm so excited for this. Yeah, postponed. There you go. I'm going to change the title. The game is off. Official. I'd go Saka, Alf. I would. I'd go Saka. I think that's absolutely fine. Would you captain Palmer? Or I'd captain Palmer, I think. So what happened to the Liverpool game? Well, it's cancelled. It's been postponed, mate. So it won't happen in this FPL game week, basically. And I think the FPL deadline will be moved to 1:30 PM now. Isak's still a good choice? Definitely. I'm thinking of buying him. What if Haaland blanks? Oh, mate, you can say that about any player every week. I don't care. You've got to take the risk. I'm so happy to have him. Right. Well, we've got to do a captaincy poll, haven't we? Let's see what the options are. With the news of the Liverpool game being off, who is your game week 15 captain? So it's going to be Saka, I'd say. Palmer, Saka, Haaland, and I'm going to put other because there are plenty of other options. Let me know in the comments. By the way, if you're not haven't already, please leave a like on the stream. I'll get rid of that. By the way, the link. I'm just going to plug this at the same time as well, where we've got some good viewers. I'm going to use it as an opportunity. So if anyone's interested in starting their own YouTube channel, I've started another YouTube channel where I teach people how to build a YouTube channel. There's a lot of meta stuff going on there. I made my first video on that channel yesterday. Look at that thumbnail. I even took a picture for a thumbnail. How cringy is that? The link you see in the chat is a link to that video. So if you want to check it out, full guide, make a certain amount of money per month on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, please do. Link in the chat. I thought it'd be quite nice. I know 10,000 subscribers might not sound like a lot to some people, but I've made nearly 700 videos. So I think I've learned quite a lot from 700 videos. So yeah, I thought that'd be a nice thing to do. I would captain Jackson even if Everton Liverpool was played. Wow, that is bold. Chances I don't think the Man United game will be, mate. I think the weather in Liverpool is particularly bad because it's coastal. But Manchester isn't, so I think they'll be fine. Would you consider Mbumo to Bowen and Wissa to Jackson? Yeah, I like that. The only thing with Jackson is the 4 yellow cards. I think Tottenham away, think about it, that's going to be quite a niggly game, isn't it? Both teams don't really like each other. There's going to be a lot of yellow cards in that game. I'd just be a little bit hesitant with that 4 yellow cards that Jackson's got. I think free hit for me with Watkins captain. Yeah, I don't mind that. I do not mind that at all. Watkins captain is a fair shout. That's what the poll's saying. 71 votes. Palmer leading the way at the moment. Right. I'll take a look at that. Thanks. That's a great idea. Oh, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Fair enough, Martin. Do what you like, man. I do like Elf, mate. Do like Elf. Good guy. FPL Jackal. Bought Sanchez last game, then didn't play. Bought Trent. Oh, man. Unlucky, mate. Just got to ride this luck. Ride the luck. It'll turn. Just popped in. 100% confirmed, mate. Confirmed. Confirmed postponed. 100%. What time will I do team reviews? Well, now the game's postponed, shall we do a quiz? Now we all know the game is postponed, shall we do a quiz? We've got 223 people in here. Would anyone like the quiz? I've got 5 quiz questions for you. Let me know. How will the game for Liverpool work? It will be postponed. So it will happen in a later game week. Liverpool and Everton will have a double game week later on in the season. And the game will be played at a later date, basically. They will extend. It looks like they'll extend the deadline based on previous trends. Let's just see. Yeah, official confirmation. Game postponed. So yeah, FPL Focal said the deadline is expected to move to 1:30 p.m. based on precedent set in the past when the first match for game week has been postponed. So they've done it previously, so it suggests that it's going to be postponed again. So I'm going to take my chances and do the FPL quiz, if that's all right. No idea on the dates, mate. No idea. They've literally just decided it's postponed, so we're not going to know the dates. Okay, the quiz. It's good to have Alf in here for a quiz. We'll start off with one. I'm hoping most people will know. Who was the top scoring player in game week 14? By the way, if you still want to ask questions while the quiz is going on, I'll do my best to answer them. That's correct, B-ball checkmate. Certainly looks like it's not going to happen this week. No Salah captain in start. Yeah, Salah's not playing this week, mate. The game's postponed. The game is postponed. I'll let a few more answers come in. I think everyone knows the answer to this one, don't they? The answer is Mo Salah. 18 points for him last week. Next question. We've got another guess the player. Who is that? Who is that? Claudette, we are breaking news on my channel. Breaking news on my channel this week. End it now. He's got one question right. Claudette saying it's Palmer. Interesting. Few shouts for Palmer, Johnson, Rogers, Ayari, Saka, Watkins, Strand Larson. 8 Nori? Your dad. Palace v City game, mate. No, of course not. It's in London. London doesn't have storms. The London weather is just good all the time compared to where I live. So I'm just going to check Twitter a second to see if there's anything newsworthy to share with you guys while you give me some answers. I love the chaos. Nothing. Just everyone saying there's chaos. I'm impressed. It's Tyler Diblin. And a few people got that right. And I've no idea how, but I'm very impressed. It was Dibbling. It was Dibbling. So well done everyone that got that. Claudette thought it was Cucurella. Interesting. I don't think that was Cucurella. If there was one player that wasn't, it's Cucurella. Impressive for everyone that got that. Cortex, it's good to see you, mate. You have missed some chaos, let me tell you. There has been some chaos this week. The Liverpool-Everton game is off, mate. And I have Haaland. Haaland is my captain. Look at this. Look at this. Haaland. Haaland is my captain. In fact, I might as well, just in case anything mad happens, I might as well just do that. Stick Salah back in my team. Right. Question number 3. So who has had the highest score in a game week this season in FPL? And I'll give you a bonus half a point if you can tell me how many points they scored as well. And then a bonus point in general if you can tell me how many points they scored and what game week it was in. So you get 2 points for this question. Everyone knows their stuff, don't they? Was going to bring TAA back in this week. Decided not to, definitely. Early transfers, not a good idea this week. I'm going to have to trust you guys to count your scores because there's so many messages going in. You're just going to have to tell me. I would get either Semenyo or Rogers, Thomas. That's what I would do. And Bumo, Johnson, Cunha to Saka, Enzo and Larson for a -4. Have Haaland, Palmer, Salah too with 0 in the bank. I would just look to get rid of Mbumo and Johnson, to be honest. And I don't think Enzo and Larson are really worth it. I would stay without Saka, to be honest. Answer. It's Cole Palmer. Game week 6, 25 points. Well done everyone that got that right. Let me know if you got the 2 points in that answer. I'm impressed. Robert Radford. Good to see you, mate. Andrei Zarikov. So Gandhi meme is correct. The Gandhi meme never fails. Maybe a Haaland hat-trick. God, I'm hoping so, Harry. I'm hoping so. I'm praying, man. I would not do that, Jacob, at all. I would keep your Liverpool defenders and just start whoever you got. I wouldn't want Wan-Bissaka in my team. The West Ham manager's about to get sacked, mate. So it's a fair point, Alf, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Usually with this sort of scenario, TV broadcasting companies get dibs. And if I look Liverpool fixtures, if I look at the Liverpool fixtures, they've got Girona in the Champions League on Tuesday, mate. Here's their fixture. So obviously that's... Oh, hang on. You can't see that. So yeah, that's obviously a game that was planned today. And then they play Girona on the 10th. So that's Tuesday. There's no way they're playing this week. You know, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. There's no room for that game. And then it's Wednesday in the EFL Cup. So there's just no way that game gets put in over the next week, in my opinion. No way. All right. New logo, Jim. Indeed, mate. How good's that? All right. This might be a good one. I wonder if anyone can get this. Who's that? I know the silhouette questions might be a bit samey, but they're the only ones that people can't really cheat on. It's a Premier League player this season. But it does look like Joe Rogan. I'll give you that. While you do that, I'm just going to check Twitter again. I'm so excited about having Haaland captain. The answer is, we've got one question after this. It's Mateta. Jean-Philippe Mateta. Have you... Oh, there's a cracking Mateta meme. Hang on. There's a great Mateta meme that I saw the other day. There it is. Anyone seen it? We're watching the Mateta meme together, guys. Hang on. My laptop's frozen while playing the Mateta meme. There we go. Let's just remind ourselves of the legendary Mateta meme. Oh, you can't hear that? What's going on?
There you go. Right, nice hot water. Jean-Philippe! Jean-Philippe! Jean-Philippe!
I rock like pebble, jump through and shit. You hear this beat? Oh.
I feel like the effect of that meme got worn off because I was struggling with the audio then. So I wouldn't be surprised if you want to click off. I tried to make it funny, but I just don't even think that would have landed, to be honest. Right. Question number 5 in the quiz. We were doing a quiz, by the way. Right, final question then. How many clean sheets were kept in game week 14? How many clean sheets were kept in game week 14? I think incognito is behind. Bowen to Madueke, Gabriel and Guardiola to Tim Burton. No. Why would you buy Trent, mate? The game's off. Five clean sheets. So we had 1 Crystal Palace, 2 Everton, 3 Man City, 4 Arsenal, and 5 was Bournemouth. 5 clean sheets. Thomas, I just answered your question, mate. You can put it in the chat again. Don't do it. So what did everyone get in the quiz then? Thomas, if you keep posting that in the chat, mate. Come on, man. I've helped you. Alf didn't win the quiz. Unlucky, mate. I need to do some prizes for these quizzes. You're very generous with your mug donations, mate. I feel very honoured that I'm getting a mug and I did nothing. So thank you. I'm a bit sleazier than you. Well, what word am I looking for? Cheap than you. I don't give anything away. You just have the glory of winning the Golden Goal quiz. That's all you get, really. Get some mug action going. Yeah, should get some mug action going, shouldn't we? I spent all my spare cash on a thumbnail for my my YouTube coaching video. By the way, link in the chat to that. Right, what's the time? In 4 minutes' time, I'll do some team reviews for members. Any members want their team reviewed? Crack your ID in the chat. Claudette, I appreciate you supporting my my humour. Thank you. Uwa's liking his mug. Have you used it yet, mate? Here's mine. I did. One thing I did do is change the logo. But I'm still going to keep the mugs because it's just the OG logo, isn't it? I don't know your team name, Ben, I'm afraid. I wish I did, but I can't remember everything. I'm going to sell wood, Harry. I'm going to wait for team news. But I think I'm going to go wood to Isaac and Mbumo to Semenyo. That's what I'm thinking. Galactic Cantina, mate. Four 496 3134. Stay for dinner again after Haaland's blank. No, I've got a curry. By the way, Alf, I was mid-curry making, and then I realised I didn't have half of the ingredients for the curry, so I had to sack off the curry, and I made salmon instead. Well, I didn't make salmon, I had salmon. I would probably start Gabriel, just because you might as well, and I'd probably play Solanke over Wood. Actually, no, I'd just do that. I don't think you need to make a transfer here, to be honest. I would just go in with that team. I just prefer Semenyo, mate, to Kluivert. I just prefer Semenyo. We're just doing members teams at the moment. So if you're a member or want to do a super chat, I'll have a look at your team. But for the time being, it's just members. That's one of the benefits you get of joining the channel as a member, is that I'll look at your teams when you put your IDs in the chat. You could tell me your team name, Ben. ID is on the browser. URL after the word entry when you look at your points. So my ID is 4581, for example. Oh, Storm Dara can go away now. You don't need to know about that. It's done. Game's off. I can't judge you. Yeah, drop a like. If you're enjoying the stream, please leave us a like rating. I'd appreciate that. Oh, God. Yeah. All right. We'll have a look at that in a second, mate. Of course, Ben. Not judging you, Uwe. How many draft time's a little bit interesting here. Anyway, I think I'd start Gabriel over Porro. Actually, no, I'd do that. I'd do McNeil to Palmer. If not already, I would do McNeil to Palmer. That's all you need to do, I think. McNeil to Palmer and Captain Palmer. That's all you need to do. Or Saka, whoever you think is the best captain. But other than that, mate, I really like this team. I would just do McNeil to Palmer, I think. Hypnotoad, this is Draft Hound. This is just the tool that I do people's team reviews in. Hopefully that helped you, Ua. I would just do McNeil to Palmer. I'm guessing it's what, all... There he is. I would consider selling one of them, mate, if you've got a really terrible bench. I think I'd play Gabriel over Porro in this team. I'd maybe consider doing Porro over Poe as Torres as well. I think I would just ride my luck, Ben. I would bench Salah for Raul Jimenez and just captain Saka or Palmer, whoever you think is best. I just don't think there's an easy transfer to make here, to be honest with you. I wouldn't pick De Bruyne. He's not nailed enough for me. Won't play enough minutes to be worth it. I think that's what I do, Ben. Not too complicated, really. In fact, I don't even think you need to make a transfer, really. I think any transfers here would just ruin your team long term. Yeah, you could captain João Pedro, but that's not gone well before for a lot of people. Bear with, I'm just going to check to see if we've got any additional news. Bear with. Oh, so the FPL deadline will remain at 11 a.m. So that has been confirmed. See, I thought that was worth some news. FPL's Gameweek's 15th deadline will remain at 11 a.m. There you go. Will remain at 11 a.m. That's some news, isn't it? Raul to Evan Nilsson. Okay, mate. Yeah, makes sense. I don't mind it. I don't mind that. You bought Luca Dean. Why didn't you get Palmer? I would have got Palmer if it was me. Or are you free hitting? That's a completely different team to what you showed before, isn't it? That's a good team. Whatever you're telling me now is a good team, apart from Luca Dean. Paul? Of course, mate. JC, mate, if you saw my message in the chat, don't put your ID in because we're just looking at members at a second. And Boomer to Gordon? Yeah, I don't mind it. There's just much of a muchness between them, to be honest. Paul's team? It's a good team. Is this guy a midfielder? He must be. I would do this Yarmoliuk guy to Semenyo. Play Semenyo over Salah and start Gabriel over Mikalenko. So I'd do Yarmoliuk to either Rodgers or Semenyo. That's what I do. I think the team looks great. You don't have much of a bench, but I'm sure you'll be all right. You just have to suck it up if Harwood Bellis plays, I think. But other than that, I think, mate, yeah, I'd do that. You're not being a pain, Uwe, at all. Does that help you, Paul? Hopefully it does. Or did. Indeed, Eddie. Called off. My pleasure, mate. My pleasure. Right. In the interest of fairness, I'm going to do 5 team reviews. Honestly, trap map. The more you keep spamming the chat, the less likely I am to do it. So I'll take 5 IDs from there. The first 5 that pop up will be reviewed. Brandon's in. JC's in. Lucas is in. Daniel is in. Trap map is in. One more. No, that is 5. That's 5. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're done at trap map. Sorry, Eddie and Dreaming FPL. We always do 5 in the interest of fairness. So Brandon. 51663. Well, you got to play Sam. You got to play Jackson, and I would start. I think I'd start Gabriel over Rico Lewis and captain Palmer. You don't need to make a transfer with this team. You can do if you wanted to. You could potentially do Rico Lewis to Timber and Mbumo to Semenyo. No, you couldn't do Timber. I would just leave it, mate. I'd potentially look at getting rid of Mbumo if you wanted to, but that team is the team I'm looking at here is absolutely fine. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything, mate. I'd leave it. I'd just start with that team and captain whoever of Palmer and Saka you think is the best. Let's just have a look, actually. There's the Palmer's winning the captaincy poll. Of course, Niels. We'll have a look at yours now, mate. Trent and Semenyo in for Anderson and Mbumo. Oh, you can't make those early transfers. Trent and Semenyo for Anderson and Mbumo. Mate, I would just take 10 rather than a hit, because the defender that you bring in needs to keep a clean sheet for the hit to be worth it. And I just don't think you can guarantee that's going to happen. So for me, mate, I take it on the chin and just go in with 10. I know that's painful, but I just take it on the chin this week, mate. I'll take it on the chin. Sorry, that's probably not the answer you were expecting, but I don't think transfers will be worth it for you this week. Right. JC. Anyone who's just joined the chat, have to bear with. I'm just doing team reviews at the moment. I would definitely start Gabriel over Robinson. Oh, Frozen. Brilliant. So he goes in. You don't have Salah. What a winner. And I captain Haaland. JC, we're Haaland friends. I think I would consider taking out Dean Henderson. You got 5 free transfers. Holy moly. I think I would personally sell Mbumo and Brennan Johnson and Vardy and Wood. So I would do this. Let's see if we can sort your team out. Remove Wood. Remove Vardy. Remove Henderson. Remove Mbumo. Remove Johnson. So I bring in Palmer. Why have we filtered by price? I bring in Palmer. I bring in Rodgers. You already got him. Bring in Semenyo if he's there. Where's Semenyo gone? I bring in Isak. And I've said this all along, but I think Onana will be the top scoring keeper in the game this season. I bring in Onana. How are we looking? How are we looking? Oh no, that's not worked. We got to go João Pedro then, haven't we? Player rankings. Forwards. João Pedro. How much you got left? 5.4. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that's not worked then. Palmer's 11 million. Might have to go without him. Maybe keep him Bumo, actually. Maybe keep him Bumo. Maybe keep him Bumo. So you have a player at that price point in your team, and then you can should be able to get Isak. Yeah, you can. I get Isak then. Forwards, Isak. I'd do something like that, mate. I'd do something like that. Right, so that's JC. Lucas. And you'll have 2 free transfers next week if you do that as well. 2799 875. Lucas. Oh, come on. Draft time's been a little bit slow, I'm afraid. Do nothing, mate. I would trust Chris Wood to do the business against Man United. Could potentially sell Brennan Johnson, but there's not a real obvious option considering you have both Rodgers and Semenyo already. I'll probably just leave the team as it is, mate. I just don't think there's any point in you making a transfer here. You got Johnson for Mitoma. Okay, that's fine. That works. But yeah, that's all you need to do. Just play Chris Wood, mate. It's not like Chris Wood is terrible or anything. Daniel Wareham, and then track map is the last one. And then I think I'm going to lock in my transfers. Oh, unlucky with Trent there, mate. You can play Jackson, though, and you can just play Gabriel. I know your 3 players on your bench are in the same game, but I just wouldn't do anything here. There's no need to make a transfer. Unless you do Michael Keane to a 4.5 defender or a 5 million defender, but much for muchness in it, really. I think you could just leave it. Claudette is playing Mitoma. Love it. One more then, track map. 1164,942. Is that the right one? Let's do it again. 1164,942. It is. Alright, guys, we're done with team reviews now. This is the 5th and final one. Do you know what my gut is saying here? I'd probably just leave it again. I'd start Smith Rowe. I'd consider starting Lewis Dunk over Porro. By the way, you having 2 goalkeepers like this, I wouldn't do that. I don't like having 2 goalkeepers to rotate. Get rid of Sanchez at some point. Just get Fabianski in or something, mate. You don't need 2 goalkeepers. You're literally wasting money in your team with that. I know you're 27k overall. You're much better ranked than I am, but I just don't see the point in having 2 goalkeepers rotating like that, especially when you got Fabianski. I guess it's not worth a transfer, but yeah, I just don't think it's worth having that. To be honest, mate, I know you've got 2 free transfers, but I don't see an obvious move here. I really don't. I think bringing Semenyo in for either Mbumo or Smith Rowe could work for you. I'd suggest that, but you don't need to do that. And then you're just going to, I would captain either Saka or Palmer, whoever you think. When, mate, how do you seriously think someone knows exactly when that game's going to be played when they've only just decided it's going to be cancelled? I think your expectations are too high, mate. Your expectations are way too high. Just read a news report that someone flew in from Australia to watch the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Yikes. Where's my team? I think I'm going to do my transfers. So I planned. Be interested to see what the chat thought about this. But I want to get rid of Chris Wood and Mbumo. And I want to bring in my man Antoine. Let's just see actually a second. Yeah, so he got a hat-trick of penalties, which is really high XGI. Yeah, I'm not liking Kluivert that much, I've got to say. I'm not liking Kluivert that much. All of the games where he's got good XG is when he's had penalties. So Semenyo, you're in. And then Isak, welcome to the team. So that's what I'm going to do. Chris Wood and Mbumo to Semenyo and Isak. And then I'll have 2 free transfers next week if I want to do anything. 0.6 in the bank. I feel like that's a pretty good place to be. And I might consider buying Onana as well. But I don't think I'm going to do that yet. Yes, Alex, confirmed it is off. So those are the transfers I think I'm going to do. Should I lock that in? That is the question. Mbumo to Semenyo, Wood to Isak. I think that's a good set of moves, personally. It does mean, though, that I own both of Semenyo and Rodgers under 6 million. I don't like Doku, mate. Jackal, mate, are you watching the stream? No offense, but are you watching the stream? Like, what have I got on screen right now? Come on, man. I think that's my opinion right there, isn't it? Yeah, Semenyo is playing right wing back, but I don't think that's going to happen every game. In fact, I think that's very much a one-off. So it looks like on the weeks where Salah could be a triple captain and have the double game week, it's Leicester and Everton away or Wolves at home and Everton away in the double game week. Yikes. I'll take my hat trick. I'll take my hat trick from Haaland. Claudette is making her intentions known. Yeah, sorry. My wood is going today. I had wood up until 9:20 a.m. on Saturday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No, I don't want a Liverpool defender, mate. I can't get to one. I also have 2 free transfers, by the way, but I just don't want the Liverpool defence. They're done. The moves are done. So there we are. Well, I've lost wood now. My wood's gone. We've all been there. Can be embarrassing at times. Happens to the best of us. There is a pill you can get for that as well, to be fair. I'm just going to share my team in a group chat a second. I'm really happy with my team this week. For the first time in like a month, I'm looking at my FPL team and I'm happy with it. Dibbling is going to play. We'll take Dibbling. We'll take a bit of Dibbling. Why not dreaming FPL? I've got things to do today, mate. I'll have to end the stream early. Best in Boomo replacement. I've just bought Semenyo for what it's worth. Captain Palmer or Saka? No deadline. The deadline is not moving. I'm going to the gym and then I've got to do my Christmas shopping today as well. I've got to brave the 70-mile-an-hour winds to do some Christmas shopping. Good morning, sir. Who should I replace Flecken with? 0 in the bank. Thinking Kepa at the moment. 5th for expected goals conceded and the best defensive fixtures for the next 6 game weeks. I still think Sanchez. Deadline is still 11 a.m. That's not changing. Martin, all aboard, mate. All aboard the pain train. Shop should be quiet if the weather sucks. Hopefully. I just need to buy some Christmas cards, to be honest. That's the extent of my shopping. I'll buy most of my presents online. I already have anyway. To be fair, I think I have 2 presents to buy because all of the other things are sorted. I try not to buy presents because I don't know. A lot of my family are really hard to buy for, so I buy them like experiences. So I'm going to go to the football with my dad, for example, on Boxing Day, and then I'm going to take my mum to a pantomime on the 27th, and that's going to be their presents, which I think is better than giving them something, because whenever I ask them, they all say they've got everything they need. Stay till 11 a.m. I've got things to do, my friend. We've already been live for 2 hours. I thought so too, Leo Messi. I thought so too. You love a play. Huge. Yeah, this is Yeah. We'll see how the pantomime is. It's Goldilocks and the Three Bears is the pantomime. So we'll see. I'll be heckling old Goldilocks the whole time. Ben, my knowledge of... I think those are shoes. My knowledge of shoes is nothing, mate. I just wear white Reebok Classics or Vans. That's all I wear. Would you captain Palm? I would actually captain Watkins. Exactly, Ua. Oh, we're done. I'm afraid we're done with team reviews now. Dreaming FPL, but that was an effective message. Does that make me a Millwall fan? Does it? Wearing the Reebok Classics, they are actually really comfortable as well, and they just go with everything. And they're like off-white, so they can be worn like formally with like some nice trousers or whatever, or just casually, which is why I like them. And when they get a bit knackered, I just make them my gym shoes and buy another pair. Yeah, Buonanotte is an underrated player, mate, but he plays Leicester, who he's on loan from, so he's not playing this week. What are you going to get me for Christmas, Dreaming FPL? You don't have to buy me a Christmas present, mate. You do not have to do that. Carl Valencia, you've got to go Haaland this week, surely. If you've got him in your team, this is the week to do it. There were times where I bottled it and went for someone else, but you got to do it this week. No post deadline. We can do some chit chat now, mate. We can do some chit chat now. Buy yourself some mugs and stickers. Exactly. I know I've changed the logo, but the OG FPL golden goal logo is still very much valid. I've got it on my mug still, and my sticker. I'd go for a Semenyo over a Wobie, I think, mate. Especially when he's about to play Arsenal. I don't think you can bring in a player that's about to play Arsenal, can you? Madueke? I don't like Madueke. He's just not nailed enough. You said Buonanotte, who is a loan tied, so is not going to play this week. And Madueke, who I don't think might not actually start. Thing is with Brennan Johnson, I do think there's a real chance he could get benched. No worries, G-Wiz, mate. Thanks for joining. Yes, of course, Lee. I will. Have you rebooked? I have rebooked, mate. Again, I'm going to be a bit coy about the date just in case another storm hits, but I have rebooked and I've booked the day off work, so we're ready to go. I'm hopefully going to go on very soon, but I won't say the date just in case it gets canned again. What would I do here? I would go for Saka, Alexandru. I'd go for Saka. Sorry, mate. I don't know why. I don't know why I miss your messages. Well, thank you, James. I think my team is good because I got lucky, to be honest, with what's happened with the derby today. But previously, I've been unlucky with Haaland in my team. Absolutely not dreaming FPL. They're playing on Tuesday in the Champions League, so there's just absolutely no way they're going to play on Monday. Raul Jimenez. I would probably just play. The thing is, the sensible move to make this week is to transfer out Raul Jimenez. I would probably do Raul Jimenez to João Pedro, and then play him over Salah. Lee, that's what I'd do. But let me know in the chat what your plans are. But I think I would do Raul Jimenez to João Pedro, and then start him over Salah. James, we're just doing members teams now, mate. We did public teams earlier on. We're just looking at members now. Nice one, Lee. There you go. Smart man. Sorry, I'm just looking at messages, see what other people are doing. God, I'm just so excited. Haaland captain, man. I'm so excited to have Haaland captain. I'd definitely start Po Torres, mate. No question about it. What do you think is the best free hit team? Should we see what Fantasy Football Hub has to say? It'll have Salah in it, won't it? Your free hit team needs to have Haaland, Palmer, Saka, and Watkins in it. If you do it, I think you need to have all those big guys. So Haaland, I'd have Haaland, Watkins, Rodgers, Semenyo, Palmer, Saka, João Pedro. Backline somewhat similar to mine. Is there a cheap keeper with a good fixture this week? Fabianski. Stick Fabianski in goal. Fabianski in goal. Probably have Timber. Yeah, those would be the kind of the players I'd go for. Yeah, Jackson captain makes sense. No. There's no chance the game will be tonight or tomorrow, mate. I don't think. The game's off. It'll be rearranged for later on. I just don't think there's a way that happens. Do you think Yeah, I do think Sanchez starts. Play Robinson versus Arsenal or Wout Fast versus Brighton. I play Robinson. Expected goals and clean sheet odds are here, my friend. I told you sorry, yes. In hindsight, I would go for Palmer over Jackson because he's on penalties. Huge. FPL Tom sent you. Great to see you. Cheers, FPL Tom. Good to see you, mate. I'll be wrapping up this stream soon because I've got a few things to do today. I'm going to get a lift in. I've got to do some washing, do some Christmas shopping. It's all going on. It's all going on today. I've got a Christmas party tonight in quite a posh restaurant, so I have to get my nice clothes out of the wardrobe. Why don't they just play at Anfield? Is that a serious question? Should I start 8 Nori or Lewis Hall? Lewis Hall. Yeah, Lewis Hall. Need to play Raul instead of Salah. Should I go -4 to get Jackson instead of Raul? No, I don't think I'd take a -4 for Jackson because I think his 5th yellow card is coming in this game. I really do. I think Chelsea v Tottenham is usually quite a hot game. So I think if there was ever a game for Jackson to get his 5th yellow, it's against Tottenham. Alexandru, I hope so too, mate. I think I deserve it. I don't think there is much I really deserve in life, to be honest. But for the pain I've gone through holding Haaland, I think I deserve some points, right? Second channel cooking up. It is, mate. If anyone didn't know, I'm going to say it again. You're probably bored, but I'm going to do it again because it's marking a plug. So this week I made a first video on my new YouTube channel where I have a bit of an idea. Now, I'm not suggesting that I'm a YouTube master or have a massive YouTube channel. 10,000 subscribers in the grand scheme of YouTube is not massive, but I've made nearly 700 videos. So I think I've learned a thing or two about how YouTube works at this time. And I had an idea to start a little business where I teach other people how to grow YouTube channels. And I made my first video this week. Paid a guy to do the thumbnail. Check that out. So there's a link in the chat, pinned link in the chat. That's the video. When the stream finishes and you fancy checking it out, have a look. It will teach you how to make £1,000 a month from YouTube. Everything you need to do. Not saying I actually make that at the moment, but the principles, it depends on the month, but the principles apply. Love that. Cheers, FPL Tom, for bringing your viewers along. Mbumo or Saka? Sent by FPL Tom, who says you're shite. Brilliant. Mbumo or Saka? Well, that's a stupid question. Should I do Salah to Gordon or Bowen? I'll currently have to start Greaves and Hall. And if Gabriel does not start, I have 10 players playing. Should I do Salah to Gordon or Bowen? No, don't sell Salah. Unlucky Jessica. I think that's you finished, isn't it? I think I might have gained a viewer here, FPL Tom. I can't believe someone's actually asked me in Mbumo or Saka. Is that actually real? I agree. Captain Saka or Palmer? I think I'll give it Palmer, but it's close. Do you think Fernandez is good for this week? Yeah. Yeah, he's good. Of course he is. Oh, I've just realised my team isn't on screen. There we go. Thank you, FPL Tom. I appreciate that. You too, mate. I've got Haaland as my captain, mate. How good is that? An actual week where I have a team that I'm quite happy with. I do have to start dibbling, though. But I'm not actually too mad about that. I'm not actually too mad about it. Pretty much, James. I mean, they're not going to play this week, so yeah. Your Liverpool players just won't score any points. Should I roll a transfer for a keeper, since first keeper is Kelleher and second is Turner, who doesn't start? I would probably get rid of Kelleher at this point, because I'm not sure how long he stays in the team with Alisson due back. So I would probably use a transfer on Kelleher. Or you could do Turner to Fabianski if you fancy it. But I would probably use a transfer on Kelleher. Yeah, I think Liverpool will lose one of those two keepers this summer. I think they'll stick with Kelleher, being genuinely honest, and sell Alisson. See, Andy? I didn't listen to you, I'm afraid, which I guess has kind of paid off. I would definitely start dibbling, mate. No question about it. No question. Yeah, I don't like keeper transfers either, but when you're forced into one, I think it's acceptable. Who do you think is better for this week, Matoma or Bowen? Bowen. I can't think of any transfers to do, then don't do it, mate. Don't do it. Don't force a transfer. Just leave it. Just leave it. I agree. And I think you cash in on Alisson while he's still worth something. Kelleher obviously made a mistake this week, but I think he's a wonderful keeper. I do. I think he's almost at the level of Alisson in terms of shot stopping. I really do. So I keep him. I keep Kelleher, sell Alisson. Who should I captain this week, Saka or Palmer? That is the question, mate. It's a 50-50 decision, really. I don't have an opinion. I'll do another 15 minutes on stream and then I'm going to shoot off. So feel free to ask me any FPL or even non-FPL questions if you want to have a bit of chat. Ooh, I haven't done the FPL challenge or draft yet. Let's have a look at that. I need to do FPL challenge. Let's do that. Let's do FPL challenge. Players costing over 9 million earn double points. Big spender. So does that mean Watkins counts at 9 million? I want to get him in. Haaland, Palmer, Saka. Son? Where's Son? Son. João Pedro. Where is he? There he is. Goalkeeper. I'm going to go Fabianski because he's cheap. Again. The navigation on this website is shocking. Go Isaac. Rogers. Where are you, Rogers? 29.9 million across 3 players. I got a load of money to spend then. Double Arsenal, actually. Double Arsenal defence. Actually, well, just to be safe, we'll go Saliba. Just to be safe, we'll go Saliba. So what, 18? God, you got loads of money. Wow. All right then. Even though he's not getting double points, he's going in. I've still got loads of money. Wow. All right. De Bruyne it is then. Yeah, exactly. All the tools will be a bit screwed this week. It'll be absolute chaos. We can go for a more expensive keeper then as well. I'm going to go for Onana. I've still got loads of cash. I don't think I can spend it all, to be honest. Who else has got the highest clean sheet odds? Let's just check that. Hypnotoad. I love that. Thank you, mate. Yeah, Liverpool got the highest clean sheet odds. I'm going to go for Guardiola. Why not? I think that's my team. I didn't spend all the money, but I don't think I can justify. That's my team. Cool. There we go. Let's just check my draft. I wouldn't captain Cunha, mate. Absolutely not. I had 25 points last week. Shocker. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Rashford, you're going in. Lewis Hall, you're going in. Raul Jimenez, I think I'm going to get rid of him. Just going to save that a second. I'm going to get rid of Raul Jimenez. Who else can we get? Slim pickings, isn't it? Raul Jimenez to Strand Larson. Andy, you're behind, mate. You are way behind. I'm going to sign Evan Nilsson for Raul Jimenez. There we go. That looks all right, doesn't it? Andy, he's watching like, oh, how long was I not showing my team for? There's my team. Sorry, guys. Andy was, I think Andy's way behind. Not going to lie. He's living in the past. There we are. Right, 12 minutes left of my stream, and then I'm going to hop off. Leave a like, by the way, if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. .90 triple captain. Unbelievable. Thank God I didn't have to pick against Salah captain this week. It's done for you this week, isn't it? But yeah, crazy. I'm so glad I can captain Haaland. I think that's a really good. So he's the best captain this week now, isn't he? Let's be honest. Oh, I'm so happy to have Haaland as my captain. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. What do you think about this free hit? Fabianski, Saliba, Guardiola, Van Heck. Don't like Van Heck. Don't think he'll play. It was Igor and Dunk that played last game. Palmer, Saka, Bowen, Semenyo. I like the rest of it, mate. I would just be cautious of Van Heck. I'd probably pick someone else for Van Heck. Who that is, I don't know. But I probably wouldn't pick Van Heck. In fact, I would probably go for Dunk over Van Heck. And knowing my luck, Van Heck will play and Dunk will get benched. But that's what my gut feeling is. I play Dunk over Van Heck. Yeah, I'm not worried about the poll, mate. I'm happy. I think this is the week where you've got a captain Haaland, I think, with the way the cookies crumbled. There you go, Jackal. It's a good job you left him in your team then. I'm so happy with this team. Let's go. Let's go. Give me some Haaland points. I'm ready. think, Andy, I'm seeing this as a sign that Haaland is the best captain with the way this is played out. I was already considering doing it, to be honest. I'd start 8 Nori. Do you think there was a better 4.5 op? Yeah, Lewis Dunk. I'd probably go for Lewis Dunk. Or just Lewis Hall. My plan was to captain Bow. Who's Bow? Who is that? Is that Haaland, maybe? Yeah, Haaland. And then sell next week. I've already have Salah and Palmer and going to bring in Xhaka. Upgrade elsewhere. Fair enough. I'm going to keep hold of Haaland. Start Dibbling or Hall. Dibbling, mate. Start the midfielder. I'd always start the midfielder or forward over the defender, personally. Just remember that when Haaland scores big this week to stay humble. Yeah, I will, mate. Don't worry. I've been humbled by him enough already, to be honest, mate. But I get the joke. Greaves has it. He did hit the post. He did hit the post. He did hit the post. I have Saka, Salah, Palmer, Foden, and Rodgers. Will it be worth the -4 to get Foden out? The thing is, the player that you take out, you bring in for Foden, has to score this week to be worth it. That's the simple fact of the matter with that hit. They have to score or get an assist for it to be worth it. Paul, we do, but it won't be until like game week or much later on in the season. So I wouldn't worry too much. I would start Hall if it was me, mate, I think. I'd start Lewis Hall. But I can see your dilemma. Oh, you'll have to check the rules on that one, Ivan. And Bumo plus Johnson for Rico and Rico for De Bruyne, plus Enzo and Colwell for next week for free. I wouldn't buy De Bruyne, mate. I wouldn't buy De Bruyne. Don't buy De Bruyne. Would you rather play Wissa against Newcastle or sell Wissa for Isak and play him away at Brentford? I do like Isak. I bought him. I think longer term, if you can get to Isak, he's a good option. He looked amazing against Liverpool. Wood, Porro, I'd start Chris Wood. No idea on the mystery chip, mate. A few people, I just genuinely don't know. It would probably be something that's already been done by a fantasy football game. Unlucky, Jessica. Unlucky. I think I'm going to wrap up in a second. I'll switch to this screen if anyone wants to ask me any normal questions. Darwin Núñez has been disappointing. Yeah, not good. If you fill at 11, would you -4? My defence is 2 Ipswich and Brentford got TA the other night. Just roll with it, mate. Don't take a hit. The players you bring in have to keep a clean sheet, and I just wouldn't do it. You to FPL, silly question, confused. If it's now A must change captains from Salah. Yeah, the postponed game will be in a different week, mate. Liverpool play Girona on Tuesday, so they won't play again. So that will be postponed. But I mean, you could keep the captaincy on him because it will just go to your vice, but I'd captain someone else. Bro, Swadton Shetty, look at the screen a second. Oh, you might have joined when I had the main screen on, to be fair. Look at the screen, bro. I got Diblin in. I wouldn't get rid of him for a hit. Boomer to Gordon. I'm not huge on it. Ahmad or Enzo, who would you rate more? Enzo, probably. By Timber or Guardiola Timber. And if your cap doesn't play, your vice captain does, yeah. But I would. There's no point risking it, having your captain on Salah, because if your vice captain doesn't play, you're screwed. Yeah, Darwin is a mental. It's all a mental game, is finishing. And when he has too much thinking time, he bottles it. It will Hypnotoad. And it means Liverpool will likely have a double game week of Everton and Leicester or Wolves and Leicester or something like that, which is crazy. Sorry, it'd be Everton and Leicester or Everton and Wolves will be the Liverpool double game week, likely. No, I don't see them selling him. I think they'll keep him. Would you get Haaland in? Definitely, if I was on a free hit. Absolutely, I think he's the best captain this week now. Surely he's the best captain this week. He won't be the most popular, but I think he's the best. That's just my opinion. Flecken or Fabianski? I would go for Fabianski, mate. Yeah, he needs to do something about his head with his finishing. To be honest, Johnny, I'm quite glad that I've used my triple captain chip and scored points from it, because I've only ever been disappointed by it in the past. So I used it on Haaland against Ipswich. He scored a hat-trick. I'll take it. I can just bench boost or free hit or whatever in those double game weeks. I'm very happy. It depends what the mystery chip as well. Don't forget you got the mystery chip. I follow two teams. I follow Bristol City because I live near the ground, and Man United. Son worth a punt? Yeah, potentially. I just don't think he's been at it this season, really. That won't happen, Andy. He's hauling, mate. He's hauling. Right, I've been live for 2.5 hours. The game's been called off. I've made my transfer decisions. We're not going to get any leaks because the deadline is 4 hours before the first game. So I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll be live with a video. When will I be out with a video? When the final game of today finishes. That's when my video will go live. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. And one more time, I'll just go on my screen share. I started a new YouTube channel this week. Very exciting. I'm going to teach people how to start and be a YouTuber. The link is in the chat. Top pinned link in the chat. I did look at that. I had to pose for a thumbnail. That was one of the most cringeworthy experiences I've ever gone through. I think that's a pretty good thumbnail, that, isn't it? Pretty pleased with that. So yeah, check out that video. It will teach you everything you need to know how to get started as a YouTuber. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Best of luck. Hope you enjoy the stream. Haaland captain.